Hello and welcome to my first studio vlog. In this vlog, we're going to be designing a pattern that I actually recently released. I'm recording this intro after everything I filmed for the vlog. I've actually already released the full pattern on my shop, but in this vlog, I do a lot of troubleshooting. We go to Michael's, we go to Joann's, and I kind of just take you through the process of trying to create my own pattern for Todd the Turnip. Where we're at in the beginning of this vlog, I realized as I'm editing it, I missed a couple context clues with this being my first vlog. So I wanted to make a little terracotta pot for Todd the Turnip. And at this point, we're just going to Michael's to get the supplies. I had created one pot, but I, for some reason, thought that I should try to make it hard because pots are hard. So I go about that by getting fabric stiffener. And I will just give you some foreshadowing. That doesn't work out too well for me, but bless my heart, I tried. So if it sounds like fun to watch me struggle making a pattern, but ultimately succeed, then stay tuned and watch the rest of this vlog. Okay, so I'm at Michael's right now. I'm sitting in my car and I thought we could go in together. I need to grab a couple of things. I'm working on a pattern currently for Todd the Turnip. I'll actually include a picture of him right here. And this pattern was definitely inspired by my time playing Animal Crossing New Horizons over the pandemic. That game was a major staple in my life. I spent like 400 hours playing that game. I was one of the people that actually flattened their island, so I think that tells you kind of what you need to know. I don't know why it's so quiet in here. Okay, so the vibes at Michael today were very, very off. I never noticed how important the music was at Michael's. Walking around in the dead silence, it sounds dramatic, but it was just a weird day at Michael's. But besides the point, they did not have what I needed, unfortunately. I really needed the chenille Home Slim in the color terracotta, and their Home Slim section was slim. Lame, but it was very like barren. So we came over to Joann's. I think that they have what I need here, but let's go in and find out. I just got out. Vibes were far superior here. I've actually met a couple other crocheters in line, and they were very nice. I got what I needed. I got the Bernat baby blanket in terracotta. They did have rust at Michael's, but I wanted the terracotta because I'm making a terracotta pot, so you know, it just seemed right. And then I got the fabric stiffener, so I'm going to use this to see if I can make the pot a little bit more firm, so that way when I put the turnip in, it doesn't just like fold over on itself. I don't know, we'll see. It's very experimentational, but yeah, I got everything I needed, so I'm gonna head to grab some food, and then I'll probably check in with you all when I'm actually working on my pattern, whether that's later today or maybe tomorrow. I'm back from the store and I just ate lunch, and I'm going to start working on my terracotta pot a little bit for Todd the Turnip, and this is what he looks like so far. I think he's so cute. I love the safety eyes that I used for him. These are purple sparkly safety eyes, and they're almost like iridescent. And then something I did that I thought was kind of cool for these leaves coming out of him was I put some pipe cleaner in them, so that way they could bend and be moldable. Hang on, we have someone that wants to come in. Mochi! Come on! Come on in! You're always welcome, okay, sweet girl? Hi! I was just saying that I want to make Todd a terracotta plant today, and that was why we went to Michael's and Joann's. This was the first attempt at a terracotta pot, and I don't think it's bad, but what I don't love about it is when I try to stick him in, let me just show you guys. I didn't make it tall enough. So the vision is like, whoa, what is that? Then you pop him out and you see that it's a turnip, but I don't think I made the pot or big enough yet. I don't know, I'm contemplating. So I think I might try to make it just a little bit bigger and definitely add a few rows. But this was made in the Michael Sweet Chenille light, and I ended up purchasing the Bernat baby blanket in terracotta, like I said, because I could not find this yarn at Michael's today. That being said though, I did use Bernat for Todd itself, so I think having it be the same yarn could be a nice touch. I like when people mix and match, but I think it'll still work well like this. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start working on the pot and the pattern now. This is how big I've made my base so far, and I'm kind of curious, do you guys, when you do your increases, do you do them like the typical way where it's like one single crochet increase, 2 single crochet increase, so on and so forth? Or do you distribute your increases across the row so that way your circle is a little more circular and less hexagonal? This is the first time I've actually done this. You can see on the bottom of Todd, I did not do that because you can kind of see how it's like a hexagon shape. I think it's a hexagon anyway, but I'm trying to figure out how big I need to make this base to be for the pot. I've never done anything that's nesting like this before, so I'm trying to figure out how large I want that to be so that he can fit comfortably in it. What I didn't like about the first pot that I made is, let's see, it doesn't look as bad on camera, but it's like bending into where it's hollow, which I know is probably gonna happen either way unless I stuff it. But I did get this fabric stiffener, and I'm gonna see what would happen if I spray this on here. Of course, if you wash this, it's gonna go away and it'll become soft again. But since this is an amigurumi, I think that it could be okay as long as people don't intend to wash it. I think I'm gonna try stiffening on this pot to see what it looks like after I do that. Then that'll inform what other changes I might make to this second version. So I'm gonna try spraying this to see what happens here. So make sure that it's the shape that I want. And then yeah, I'm just gonna have to let this now dry, I guess. This is very interesting. While my pot dries, I actually have an appointment, so it's good timing. I only got started on the pot bottom and I did like this much before I realized I should try my little experiment. It could be that the stitch count is correct, it's just there's not enough firmness in the pot to stay tight with this, but I do want this to fit pretty snugly in the final pot pattern. So we will just see before I work on this anymore how my little science experiment goes. I don't think I explained the theory behind this. This is fabric stiffener. It's meant to be used for when you're weaving, when you're sewing like fabric together for sewing. I don't think it's primarily used in crochet, except for I have seen people talk online about using it for just like art installations and things like that. I did see someone use this on a floppy basket where they used woolies. So I wanted to give it a try. Let's see if this experiment works, and then I will work on this some more if needed, and then I will keep you guys updated after. It is 11 o'clock at night. It's getting a little bit late, but I have been working on my project a little bit. So I ended up checking in on the experiment that we had, and it's definitely hard. I would say this is not a successful experiment. Just the feeling of it. I knew that it would get stiff, but like I can't deal with the way that feels. So I ended up working up a larger pot. This is how he's looking in a larger pot base, and I'm liking the way it's looking so far. I've got to see this. I would say we can probably throw it away.
Just for others or only projects for yourself? This would be if you only had to focus on that for a year.
It's the next day and I am still working on the pot. I worked on this one last night. I checked in last night and showed this and thought that it was going well. I finished most of the rows and I'm noticing that it's too big. I'm thinking that I need to change the shape. So initially I went for a terracotta shape that was like this wide. I think what needs to happen is it needs to come in here. I need to pinch this in and actually hug it. So it's more like a cup. So I'm gonna try to do that. I will not lie, I'm getting a little more frustrated with this part than I did with Todd itself. Part of me is just like, do I just release Todd? But I think it would be so cool to have a pot where it's like, doop. So I'm gonna try one more time, see if I can get this. And I think what I'm gonna actually do is make like an insert to go in the bottom. So maybe like a donut shape down here. And so that when he's in the bottom, it maintains a uniform shape around instead of like curving in. I don't know, you'll see what I'm talking about. Before I work on it though, look at my sweatshirt. How adorable is this? It's got a lot of lint, but this is Moon and this is Mochi. You can see Moon right back there. I got this from Embroly and I got my fiance one and then me one for it was his birthday? Yeah, so we have matching sweaters of our cats and I just thought it was a really sweet personalized touch. But anywho, I'm gonna work on this and then I will check back in after I've done a little bit to let you know if we've made any progress. I know I said I was gonna check in when I was done crocheting, but it's only been like 2 minutes and look who crawled into my lap. I just had to show how sweet this little guy is. It's been about 40 minutes or so and I've been tinkering around and I think I came up with a base that will hopefully help keep this little guy flattened in there. So we'll see. I'm gonna work on the pot now and then I will hopefully have a finalized pot for Todd the Turnip. All right, it's Sunday night and I think last I checked in, I had thought up this donut idea to stick Mr. Todd the Turnip in here so that the pot shape wouldn't curve in so much. And I actually ended up going and making it a little bit smaller. And now I am working on, oh, he almost fell. Now I'm working on making the pot fit this. And I think this might be our solution. So I'm super excited to see how this turns out. I posted it on my Instagram and I have a couple people that volunteered to test for me. So I really want to get this over to them by Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get this done tonight and I will show you the final result hopefully later on. All right, this is try 3. You can still see how it's curving and that is really going to bother me. So I'm going to try one more time to make it bigger here. It seems simple. It should be. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. We're gonna tear it back and try one more time. After 4 attempts, I'm finally happy with the way that Todd the Turnip turned out in his little pot. You can see that it fits pretty snugly. He can sit on a flat surface. There's not any majorly weird curvatures. My initial thought was to make the pot go all the way up here so that just the leaves were sticking out and it would be more of a surprise as you pulled him out. But I just loved the way that it looked with his face peeking over. I didn't want to cover it because it's just, he's too cute. So as I was checking it, I thought that this was actually a great place to stop on the height. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I'm glad that I didn't give up because there were definitely moments on attempt 2 or 3 that I was starting to doubt this idea, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think the challenge was the nesting piece because I've not done anything like that before. I'm looking forward to having this pattern tested. I'm going to share it out on Tuesday and then I'm hoping to get the pattern out in the next week or 2 on my shop. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe for more content that's similar and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks and I'll see you next time. Bye.